Hey, how's it going, everybody? Lawler here, trying to tell you guys about what's been going down in the week of Rocket League. Obviously, we've got some downtime before the World Championship, and I figured why not just an overarching update on what has been going down over the last week or so as we wait for the World Championship. Later this week, we'll probably have tier lists and some scheduling stuff for you all, but in the meantime, just trying to keep you guys up to date. As always, if you guys do have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know down below. Some insight of your own if there's things that I missed out on. Always appreciated. And while you're down there, make sure to like, subscribe, turn notifications, as it helps me out immensely. That being said, we're going to start pretty easy. Some of these are going to be a little bit of repeats, but I figure we give them a dedication to them. First things first, if you guys did not see or have not seen in previous videos, the RLCS World Championship will be commentated in person in French. To nobody's surprise. This was kind of the expected thing. The Rocket Baguette crew that is pulling more viewership than the main broadcast, it feels nowadays. They will be the ones in charge of providing the in-person commentary. Now, for those that are attending on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 days, that is important because I do feel a lot of the tickets have been sold to organizations like Vitality with the Golden Hornets or the Blue Wall with K-Corp and things of that nature. So for a majority of the fans there that want a special and localized experience, it should go across, I think, very well. That being said, there will still be an English broadcast. If you guys haven't seen, there will still be an English broadcast. Ways people have done this in the past is they have put RLCS on Twitch on their phone, and then they have changed it to audio only, and they'll wear like an earbud. Some people do that. Now, the thing to know about that is that will be with a delay. There will be a slight delay in the audio compared to watching live if you do that. There's been a lot of jokes and a lot of memes about it too, of like the French being like, can we borrow stacks for intros and type of stuff. The broadcast talent, all the ones you assumed were going to be there. Spaceman, maybe he'll make an appearance for some top 10 stuff, but I don't think he's going to be there in person. So outside of that, the ones that you assume are there, Leaf, we can expect to be doing interviews and stage stuff. Wavepunk will host, Stacks will do intros and some casting, Gibbs desk, Bates desk, and then the rest are casting and doing the same old, same old. So pretty expected. No changes on that one. Some updates to FIFAe. You guys have heard me talk about it. Some of this is untrue, and just putting that out there. Bass did have a tweet. The reason why we put this up is because that's what sparked the conversation. But the big things to know is the way that this is perceived is this sentence is wrong, meaning they got the spot instead. They did not get the spot instead. That is not how it worked. These are not in lieu of these. Just clarifying that for everybody who has seen this. If you guys aren't familiar, FIFAe, the World Cup that takes countries versus each other, we saw this last year as well, has been under a lot of flack because there is a lot of countries that are not participating and big names of note. I talked about this in a previous video with Spain. Now added to the list is the United States, Denmark, Singapore, and Canada. Canada and Spain were the two that I talked about last time. You can add US to the list. And a lot of people are basically saying just cancel the entire event. I don't think that's the appropriate answer. I do think, obviously, when you're trying to do a World Cup, you need some of the bigger nations in it. I want to clarify for everybody, this is not FIFAe's fault, technically. In hindsight, when they put this event together, if they were doing it with official partnership with FIFA, they should have reached out to all of the soccer federations that are involved directly with the organization or the organizing factor that is FIFA, are the ones that are in charge of fielding a roster. It is entirely down to the U.S. Soccer Federation to field a team. It is down to Spanish's Soccer Federation to field a team. And that goes across all of their titles, whether it be EAFC, whether it be Football Manager, whether it be Rocket League, whatever sports title that is soccer or football related, depending on where you're from. It is on the federation to do so. Now, if those federations have certain things in place, whether it be partnership agreements, whether it be certain things that limit them from competing in other titles, those things are going to persist. And unfortunately, it is on the short-sighted side of FIFA to not put those things in place before committing to additional titles or other things. FIFA should have reached out to the main countries that they plan to involve and said, hey, we're going to have multiple titles. Make sure that when you sign agreements and do partnerships, that you are aware that these things don't conflict. You should make sure you have a blanket statement that states, I have the ability to do this, that, or the other. one foot in front of the other, just very direct, very immediate. And we're like, hey, we want you involved, do it, cool, great. At the same time, these countries make, and I can tell you the United States in particular, may have signed an agreement with specific titles or things that prohibits them from competing in other things. Like if they're involved with one title, but they can't compete in the other one because they signed an exclusivity clause, then makes it kind of difficult for them to partake in field a roster, even though they did it last year instead of this year. FIFA as an organization has done everything they can to get orgs like this involved. Hey, we're going to provide stimulus money. We're going to provide you backing. We're going to cover flights. We're going to cover hotels. We're going to do everything we can. All we need you to do is hold qualifiers, find a team, support them with your kit, and then we can do the thing. Boot camp them, whatever you want to do. Like, we will take care as much as we can. We'll be very forthcoming. Some of them, like Canada, still turned it down. To why that reason is, I don't know the details. I don't know if they just don't deem it worth the money. We talked about it in our previous video with Spain. They took all the money anyway. They required the guys to make top 4. They didn't pay them. Like, some pretty negative stuff. So across the board, it has been very poorly operated on the federation side, not on the FIFA side. The only constraint or the only complication I give to the FIFA side is that they could have been better about the understanding of what goes into how does this thing operate long term. Now, in the second part of this as well, to keep in mind, something that Bass got wrong, and it implies it. It's not the case. It says list of nations holding qualifiers, meaning they got a spot instead. A lot of people are taking this as if because they didn't get the spot, they're now getting it instead. That is not the case. These spots are confirmed and they have qualifiers, and that they are actually doing things as compared to these. It is not that because these 5s are not involved, these 5 are. I don't think that's the case. To my knowledge, FIFA sends out invites to all of them, and then whoever decides to confirm and commit to it is who gets the spot. So I know they don't really hold back. They try to get as many involved as possible, but the reality is they did not get the spot because these declined. Who is going to fill in instead? There's a lot of nations out there. We'll figure it out. They do talk about qualifiers too. This was something that someone in my chat brought up at one point as well yesterday when I was streaming. They have qualifiers that lead into a EU qualifier that is kind of confusing. I don't know how this works. So like they have a European regional tab with all the different areas that have a qualifier, and then there's a main event. So like for EU regionals in the final, what does that mean? Like, do the top 4? So like, are they going to just have a bunch of countries all compete, and then the best countries from Europe, they only send 4 of them? Obviously, there's some favorites already in there between Finland and Italy, maybe Poland, but you never know what's going to be fielded. But if they're only sending 4 of those countries in to the main event, it'll be interesting to see. So I don't know who's qualified, who's not, what's going to play out. We'll have to keep an eye on this. Again, the event's not till December, so we've got a bit, but I'll try to keep you guys in the loop about more FIFAe nonsense because it's been pretty sloppy up to this point. On top of that, we do have a decision that some agree with, some don't. I'm kind of indifferent on it. If you guys don't know, Diaz, the top tier player from Brazil that played for Complexity and is currently playing for Complexity, we'll see for how much longer, he is changing his username. Now, this has happened in the past. There's been some high-profile players that have made this decision in the past, but no one to the degree that has made like a major has done this. We have seen many players, and even one in particular. If you guys don't know KV1, another really talented South American player, his name is actually Kronovi1. He saw a player that he was a fan of. He saw a player that he enjoyed, that he liked watching compete, and then was like, shoot, I need to change it because I can't have the same name if I'm going to compete at this high level. So he now goes by KV1, but it's actually, to my knowledge, the origin of his name is Kronovi1. Again, I think Diaz saw the name Diaz and he's like, I like that, it's cool. But then he clarifies, it doesn't represent me and it doesn't have any origin behind it, so I'm changing it to Kenzo. General premises, I think if you're building a brand and if you're growing as an individual, it is good to keep the same name because that's how people get to know you. As long as I can pronounce it and I don't have to be like, is it Nupo, Naupo, Nubo, Naupo? I don't know. The fact that it's Kenzo and I don't gotta question it, I'm a fan. Doing it earlier in your career is probably better. Maybe he hopefully has a breakout and really starts to ascend because obviously everybody knows him as the 1v1 guy. We'll see what Diaz, now Kenzo, ends up performing like in the future. I have talked to him during the offseason and it'll be a very interesting time, and that applies to everybody. Post World Championships, chat, expect absolute chaos. I'm looking forward to it. Up next, we do have to talk about, if you guys don't know Nush or the Don roster that played for Al-Qadsia, that was one of the teams that was trying to fight. We had a lot of beef about them, but in a competitive 1v1 match, show match against FBI, who's also another really talented Saudi player, hitting a sidewall pogo where you just, and I might be able to slow down the play speed. No. But basically, the fact that he just launches it to the sidewall and has the wherewithal to be like, you know what? I'm going to trust that this ball is going to kick mid to me. I'm going to jump while collecting the boost, because if he doesn't get the boost, it doesn't work. I'm going to slam my nose against the wall, so I immediately am now able to turn and go. The fact that it hits the top corner, so I know it's going to play out mid, and like some of this is just, hey, like I got to react to where the ball's going to go and make the play. But the fact that it plays out to him because it perfectly hits here, like, I don't even know if he read that that's where it was going to hit. If he does that intentionally, like, there's no way he knew that this was going to perfectly hit bottom corner, top corner, and then out. Like, it is just so circumstantial, so reactionary. But then to do what he does after it is just like, you know what? I'm glad you're feeling confident. This dude is playing Rocket League like 4D chess. That is absolutely insane. I don't got anything else for you on that topic. I just thought it'd be really cool to show you. Back a week ago, they did talk about how obviously there's a bunch of DDoS issues going on. They addressed it initially on the 13th, saying, hey, we're trying to release an update. We're trying to do what we can to improve the DDoS situation. For those that have not been susceptible to it, playing in tournaments, you definitely will be. If you're a higher level player in a higher rank, you definitely will be. If you're in a rank that is kind of at the cusp of ranking into a certain spot, whether it be GC or SSL or whatever it may be, you will be made susceptible to it. But basically what's going on is you load into a lobby. There's someone with a sus name that goes, hey, guess what? You're not going to get to play. Your ping is going to go through the roof. You're going to rubber band like crazy. There's nothing you can do about it. And I win. That being said, some of these DDoSers are absolutely terrible, and you can still win if you can beat them to the kickoff. They have addressed that it is an issue. If you have looked at any high-profile player, any high-level streamer, any pro, anybody who's trying to grind twos, they just get riddled with DDoS lists. If you go look at the leaderboard, they have now banned people from the leaderboard, but they haven't banned them in-game for whatever reason, because I don't think they have a preventative measure for it. They said, hey, we started deploying a new server-side DDoS protection tool. It's live right now, and you should experience more stable games as a result. They address, hey, our work isn't done. It isn't perfect yet.
Lawler. Fix the servers. Lawler.
That's, you know, it's on me. It's my job to fix servers. My dad is Mr. Psionics, so that's fair. That's on me. Monitor it. They're going to try to catch additional exploits. They're going to do what they can to figure out what's going on. What's crazy is they made it worse. I don't know how they did, but apparently it's gotten easier, and there's even worse things that you can do. I forget who said it. Like, the amount of pros on my timeline that are tweeting about it, about like, hey, it's worse. Hey, I'm dealing with it right now. I went weeks without getting a single one pretty much. Now tonight it's full DDoS lobbies. Like, someone said that they're able to unban themselves. Like, it has gotten ridiculous. So you're telling me right now the current state of the game is we don't feel confident of the future. Where's UE5? If I am a high-level player and I'm trying to play ranked or whatever it may be, which is the only game mode I can really play, I'm going to get DDoSed. Something's got to give. A lot of expectation, a lot of lead-up is on the World Championship. If something drastic does not happen in Lyon, it's going to be pretty rough. It's going to be a tough pill to swallow, I think, for a lot of people. And even still, I think even if they do announce like UE5 at Worlds and we see the transition over, a lot of people are going to be upset. A lot of people are going to drop off about the Fortnite thing. I've talked about that video in length if you want to go check that out. But yeah, we've been around for 10 years. Concerns are setting in for a lot of people, and rightfully so. Something's got to fix, and they've got to fix it quick because it has been months of DDoS issues. So some good, some bad, but overall, a lot of frustration from a lot of people. Figure we would keep you guys up to date. Figure we'd tell you guys what's kind of the current narrative going on in the general sense. But if you guys do have any other things that you have noticed or recognized, let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.